The month of March is a mixed blessing. The hope of spring is so near we can taste it, prompting us to wonder if the frigid, colorless days will ever end. Have you ever faced a spiritual March when life looked gloomy and God seemed really distant? I remember one such season when I was in my early 30s. I had left my church under difficult circumstances. While there, I had contributed in multiple ways, from Sunday school teacher to intercessor, but now I felt unmoored and purposeless, not to mention isolated without my church family. As a result, I battled with a vague sense of guilt, asking myself, what good am I to the kingdom now that I'm not doing anything? I lost all passion and my prayer life became wretched. One afternoon, while begging God for relief, I caught sight of an oversized basket that held extra blankets. And suddenly the realization hit me that I had, for a long time, been approaching God from behind a similar basket, but this one was full of good works. Picture a 30-something-year-old woman peering out from behind a massive basket full of spiritual contributions, hoping that God would grant her his attention. That had been me. Now my basket was empty, and I felt exposed. All I had to offer God was myself. There was nothing to hide behind, nothing to validate my existence. This is what I believed. But then the Lord reminded me that the sum of my good deeds had never contributed one iota to my justification in the first place. I was made righteous only through Jesus. I also recognized that he had never distanced himself from me. I was the one overthinking the situation and acting as though my relationship with him had been damaged somehow. He'd never supposed any such thing. In short, I needed to calm down. While I had imagined him being miffed with me, he'd been summoning me by saying, "Come closer." It's likely that you have experienced rejection or denial at different times in your life. You might remember being sent to your room as a child after you misbehaved, or as a teen, maybe you were excluded by your peers, or a boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with you when he or she lost interest. Later, as an adult, maybe you were fired or passed over for a promotion, or perhaps your friends have waned over time, or your children are more distant than you prefer. Together, these incidents can convey the message that you don't measure up. And it's possible that this belief has tainted your perception of God. You might think to yourself, he doesn't want to hear from me. Surely he's exasperated with me for all my shortcomings. But nothing could be further from the truth. The way of Jesus is to call us closer. There's plenty of biblical proof of this. Consider Peter, who fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Go away from me, because I'm a sinful man, Lord." Jesus' response was to calm Peter's fears and to call him into ministry as a fisher of men. When we goof, or merely imagine that we did, the enemy barks, "How dare you approach God? You're unworthy. Get to the back of the line." But God will never ask us to go away or give him space, no matter what we've said, done, or thought. He wants us near so that he can bring change and healing. When we have nothing to offer but a broken heart, or when we're spiritually out of sorts, or when we're bereft of passion even for him, he still says, "Come closer." On the day that I realized my basket was empty, I finally responded to Jesus' request to come closer by intentionally moving back into his presence. And it was as easy and free of fanfare as stepping over a parking curb. He invites you to do the same today. Thank you for joining me. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you again soon.